AI built this app in 2 days and generated $10,000 in revenue. Except none of that happened. Yeah. At this point, my entire feed has turned into a slop fest. Not this slop, the AI slop. You know the type, the one I opened this video with? Or something like, here's my learning from 69 vibe coded apps and whatnot. I mean, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, LinkedIn, you simply can't escape it. Eventually, the FOMO got to me and I decided it's my turn to become an AI billionaire now. Hi, my name is... and I'm a game developer with more than 5 years of experience. But the important thing is, I've never built a native mobile app before. The goal is simple. Use AI to build a real app over the weekend on a budget of $10 and launch it on the Play Store. The real question being, how long can I blindly rely on AI before I have to use my programming skills? I mean, everyone's doing it. How hard can it be now, innit? Or so I thought. Turns out, finding an idea is harder than I expected. I do not want to build yet another calories tracker app. So the idea emerged from a problem I have been facing myself. As you can clearly see, I'm absolutely jacked as fuck. After strength training for about 60 to 90 minutes, I really don't have another 90 minutes to walk 10,000 steps. That's when I came across the Japanese interval walking technique. You walk for a total of 30 minutes, but instead of walking at the same pace, you keep alternating between 3 minutes of slow walking and 3 minutes of brisk walking. Exactly the thing I need until I actually tried it. I was clueless when to switch my pace, and I don't want to keep pulling my phone out every few minutes. So my brain came up with an idea of making a playlist where every song was roughly 3 minutes long. Big brain, right? No hate to my girly pop songs, but soon I got sick of listening to those same 10 songs on repeat. Now, only if there was an app that notified me periodically on its own. And boom, that's how I came up with the ultra omega super original idea. A fancy diamond. Now I know what I want to build. I have absolutely no clue how people build mobile apps. I start looking into mobile development and Expo keeps showing up. Apparently, it lets you build for both Android and iOS from the same code base. Perfecto. Next, all I need to do is hire a coder for $10 from India. I mean, pick an AI assistant. With so many options to pick from and none of them sponsoring this video, GitHub Copilot is a no-brainer choice. Unlike most of the token-based tools, it works based on requests, and it even gives access to models like Claude Opus, which is amazing for coding, and most importantly, it costs just $10 per month. Now I'm all set to be a millionaire. Or was it billionaire? Anyway, boot up my code editor, start a new Copilot chat and prompt it, create my $billion app and make no mistakes. And boom, the very first version of the app is here. Well, at least the code that took what, less than 10 minutes? All I need to do is run this command, and using this Expogo app, I can instantly see it in action. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. Interesting. I like the colors it picked. I wanted the app to have a cozy vibe to it, using pastel colors instead of the boring blacks and grays that most fitness apps use. Not a fan of how it looks in dark mode though. Should I get rid of the themes altogether? Yeah, fuck accessibility. Thou eyes shall burn. If I go into the settings tab, I can personalize the timer. Perfect. That's exactly how long I last. When doing planks, you dirty mind. Wait, it doesn't show the total duration though. Such a bad UX. Anyway, let's test if the timer even runs or not. Okay. Pause works, and for each phase it emits a custom audio and vibration noise. Basically, distinct audios and vibration patterns let me change my walking speed without thinking, so my smooth brain can focus on dodging kids, street dogs and traffic. To be honest, it's a pretty decent first version, but all this clutter is giving me the ick. Time for some more AI magic and make it clean its mess, because someone needs to learn about accountability. Okay, all the options have been shoved inside settings. This humongous chungus badge displays the current phase and the background fills up as time elapses. Who said I'm anti-accessibility? The app is now an MVP. Hold your horses, wrestling fans. I'm talking about minimum viable product. It's the most basic functional version of a product that allows a team to test and validate market demand with minimal time and financial investment. Let me test the app with the lock screen. Why am I not being notified? Oh, it just did as I unlocked the screen. Does it work if I open YouTube?
Nope.
The app literally had one job to do. It seems like it only works when the app is visible on the screen. It turns out AI conveniently left out the part where I specifically instructed it to use device notifications. So much for depending on AI to do everything. I should have noticed it the first time I ran the timer. Even no notification bubbles at the top, just audio and vibration. A big red flag. But no, I was busy being mesmerized with AI's capabilities. Anyway, with the new scripts in place, let's refresh Expo Go, start the timer, and nothing again. Did AI just gaslight me into thinking it's using notifications now and it would work? Turns out it's a limitation of Expo Go. To test the functioning of notifications, I have to generate a development build and install it on my phone. I have zero clue how to generate a build though. I Google and find out Expo has its own cloud service called Expo Application Services. So now I can generate builds and even deploy them to Play Store and App Store directly. Thankfully, I don't even have to deal with signing the builds. The free plan should suffice, and with that the first build is ready in 10 minutes. Okay, pretty sure there might be situations on a free plan when this wait and queue time is much more than mere seconds, but whatever. Time to install the APK on my phone and test. Police work. It doesn't. God damn it, AI sucks. I can't anymore today. I'ma hit the sack and troubleshoot it tomorrow. So it's the next day and my AI assistant just quit before I did. I don't see Claude Opus in the list anymore. Restarting the editor and extensions didn't help either. Did Microslop wipe code and break the extension as well? Okay, this thread on Reddit talks about it too. Damn! This GitHub article mentions only pro users will get access to Claude Opus, and they are pivoting from request based to token based just like everyone else. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay more money. In fact, I'm gonna cancel my subscription before it renews. Anyways, I guess I'm just stuck with the normie models now. I've already spent an unhealthy amount of time trying to fix the problem and I haven't progressed even a bit. At this point, it's literally like I'm at a slot machine in a casino. I send a prompt and hope the issue gets patched. And soon I rage quit. To stop myself from abandoning the project completely, I have decided to focus on making it look good for a change. Now the question is, do I keep it minimal and save my lazy ass from putting much effort into it? Or how do other vibe coders stylize their app? I see most of them have a mascot. Even apps prior to the AI slop era have cute mascots, and honestly, I fuck with that. But how do I generate mascot? Turns out these people use ChatGPT to generate them. And guess who has a free ChatGPT subscription for a whole year? Yep, that's right, it's me. Since this walking technique is credited to Japanese, so it makes sense for the app to reflect this as well. Here's the generated background and this adorable kawaii chibi ball of fur is the mascot. I decided to call it Woo. Don't ask me why. Vuvu is a Japanese raccoon dog. Not him, but this creature here. I need Vuvu in a few more poses to reflect different phases of the app. I'm low-key impressed by AI. Wait, these pictures are not transparent. Of course, it's not gonna be that easy. Is there an online tool that removes background? Surely someone must have created it. Okay, this website, I Love Image, has this tool. Yoink. And it even shows the before and after. Pretty dope. After some adjustments in Photoshop, these images are ready for use. For the Sherlocks out there, this green patch is gonna remain at its place and I'll keep swapping each pose over it so it creates the illusion of Woo being always grounded. Next I need is an app icon and a splash screen icon. What dimensions do they have to be though? Is there a template around? Because I don't really want to set up everything from scratch. Okay, wow. Expo new lazy duds like me exists. This Figma template supports both the ecosystems, but for now Android it is. Time to integrate these bad boys in the app and also add a little bit of juice to the app. Juice is a game development term. You add tiny things that someone might not notice consciously but makes the game feel alive, responsive and not something static like a camera shape when a player takes damage. In the app I simply added these animations, transitions and even coloring the background when it fills up. I'm actually loving how it has turned out visually. AI has really shined in this department, not gonna lie. Coming back to the dreaded notifications issue. Every time AI claims it fixed the problem. I download from ES and tested on my phone like a clockwork, but to no success. By now I'm convinced AI is incapable of solving this issue with generic prompts. I think the only way now is for me to go through the export documentations on notifications and my project script so I can prompt it better. Boom, baby, it finally works. Notifications are coming through. Let's go. Now my phone is as ancient as your granny, so just because it works on my phone doesn't guarantee it works on other phones as well. Should I WhatsApp my testers the APK though? I don't want them to get scanned because of the vulnerability from APK installation permissions. I have to take the longer route of using the Play Store. The Play Store listing ready. Time to add their email IDs in this internal testing track, and then only they can access the app, no one else. After spamming my huge testers list, it works perfectly on Samsung, Motorola and Poco phones, but not on OnePlus. The app itself doesn't crash, but the notifications either don't come through or at completely wrong time. Back to banging my head against the wall. I mean AI. Am I not including some Android permissions in the app that's preventing the notifications from working correctly? It's time to sift through the Android documentation now. These two look like good candidates. Schedule exact alarm is already being used. Might as well try including use exact alarm. Meanwhile, I also found out the latest version of the Expo SDK is 56 and AI started this project with 54. 2 versions below. Might as well upgrade it. At this point, I'm literally grabbing onto anything I can find. Even delve deep into the age-old OG gangsta Stack Overflow. Everyone used to copy code from here before AI came into existence. The new build is ready and it's time for the moment of truth. It still doesn't work great. Is it just a OnePlus thing or am I still missing something? Actually, is a OnePlus issue indeed. Signal app has this FAQ troubleshooting the same issue, but then how in the world apps like WhatsApp and others send notifications accurately in OnePlus? It doesn't hurt to try this out as well, because still nothing. So fed up right now with this whole saga. I give up on OnePlus. It's fine, I know you OnePlus users are not into fitness anyway. You aren't missing much without my app. Anyway, it's time for the public release. Sadly, ES just gave up on me as well now. I've exhausted my monthly quota of 15 bills. Great, couldn't get any worse. Now I either pay for its subscription or figure out a way to create bills myself. How do I generate the bills on my computer though? I can use ES locally as well. That's pretty neat. Oh wait, this only works in Windows if I use WSL. What is that? Seems like a virtual machine of sorts in which I'll need to install a Linux distro. Whoa, don't get so wet, Linux fanboys. I'm really short on storage space and I don't want to trade my kidney for storage and memory in this overpriced economy. So this is not an option at all. ChatGPT says here I can also use Android Studio to generate them manually. Time to install Android Studio, I guess. Meanwhile, I'll also automate the whole process of generating release bills. All I need to do is just run this terminal script and simply upload the generated Android app bundle file to the Play Store. This is essentially running the ES processes on my computer without WSL and more importantly without paying for the ES subscription. Genius, ain't I? Can't wait to release the app. But before that, I need to do one more thing. Ladies and mental gem, I introduce you the support screen. Here I beg people to rate the app on Play Store, and by any chance any oil prince from Saudi wanders off to my app and voluntarily wants to support the app money wise, they can with this coffee page. After all, how else will I become a billionaire? Anywho, after handcrafting these beautiful screenshots myself in Photoshop as well as this Oscar-worthy trailer in Premiere Pro and filling the 1001 log Play Store questionnaire, the app is finally live right now. Any guesses how long it took for them to approve the app? 7 freaking days. The app is completely free, no signups, no subscriptions, no ads, and no analytics tracking. Just a tiny coffee page, mostly because I would eventually love to replace all the stolen art, I mean AI generated art, with artwork from an actual human. So, did I become the AI billionaire YouTube promised? Not even close. Probably spend more electricity to run my computer. So financially, it's an absolute L. But surprisingly, it doesn't bother me because this whole experiment started because I was sick of seeing these build a SaaS in 48 hours videos everywhere and wondering, am I already falling behind? Turns out not really. AI absolutely got me farther than I expected. The very first version of the app was generated in minutes. The mascot, the graphics, the animations, even the majority chunk of the code, all surprisingly good. But every time I hit a real problem, AI stopped being a replacement and became more like a very confident intern. It always had an answer, not necessarily the right one. Eventually, I had to stop blindly trusting it, read the documentations myself, understand what was actually happening in the code, Google stuff, and then give AI better instructions. Ironically, the more I understood the code, the more useful AI became. So despite pretending to be a non-technical founder for this challenge, I couldn't stay one for very long. Programming skills still mattered a lot. What AI built in 2 days was nowhere near what the app became after a month of iterating, debugging, and polishing. And honestly, I think that's the part these viral AI success stories rarely show. There are probably hundreds of people like me building, breaking, getting stuck, and slowly figuring it out. That's not failure, that's just what building software has always looked like. Anyway, if you somehow own a OnePlus phone and know why those notifications still hate me, please save me in the comments. Okay, bye.